Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to another edition of Transformation. Don't we want to get transformed to an amazing human being? From a little cocoon to a beautiful butterfly? Wouldn't that be amazing? And that's what we're going to talk about today. An experience that I had at the gym this morning. And guess what? Guess what? My spidey senses went up. What? I have spidey senses. Let's talk about that. And you do too. Listen, little story goes. Paquito Kareem is at the gym. And that was today. I was working out. And I go for the weights. And one person was rude. Hey, you don't put the weights there. It's supposed to be put somewhere else. And there are rude people in this world. Yes, they are. And that's okay. Because God, universe, creator, has put those kind of people on this earth to teach us a lesson. To make us grow. For us to come out from that little cocoon to full-fledged butterfly. Think about that. What happens from a cocoon? When a butterfly wants to come out from a cocoon, it has to work really hard to get out. And then guess what? Light shows up. And guess what? The butterfly starts flying. And that's what we're put on this earth for. Learning every day. Not a day goes by that we do not learn. That is my life now. So, rude people, how to deal with them? They could have easily said, hey, the weights don't go there. Can you please put it on the other side? And even then, young Kareem would have taken it seriously. But how does one have to respond? And how do you know that your journey in this world, that you, my friend, yes, you, are growing and have learned that lesson? Think about that. Let me explain this. So guess what? What did I do? I said, not a problem, sir. I will put it there. Not a problem. See, if I had put energy into the way they talk to me, guess what would happen? Where your energy goes, your words go. That is what you're putting fuel to the fire. And guess what happens when you put fuel to the fire? That's what you magnify. And when you magnify that kind of feeling, your mind says, hey, goes to the universe and says, hey, I want those kind of frequencies in my life. And I become a negative person. My day goes to crapper. I feel bad. I have diseases in my body. Disease. It's not in harmony. My mood changes. You will not have this smile then. But if you respond in a positive, happy manner, guess what happens? God, universe says, hey, Kareem wants that kind of a signal. My energy is aligned with the universe, and that's more of that I get. Think about that. So how did I respond? Not a problem, sir. I smiled, and that's it. Guess what happened? You must have trigger points. I had this trigger point. I always say, one of my songs is, when something like that happens, return to sender, address unknown, no such number, no such zone. Think about that. I just sent it back. By the way, that's Elvis Presley. I just sent it back. Didn't even register with me. Think about that. See? We have choices between the stimulus And the response is that little space. And that space, my friends, is your freedom to choose. Freedom to choose. And when you choose in a proper manner, you grow. And that little incident that happened to me, I was proud of myself. Not in a conceited way, but I was proud of myself. You know why? Why? Because I know I have learned this lesson now. See? If I had argued with the guy or gave him a bad look, no. Never. Thank you, Lord, for teaching me this. Let me explain something to you. Even negative people, then what happened? Let's explain this. Then what happened? So, I looked at him and I said, I was working out, and then when he went to put the weights, I said, man, you're doing an amazing job. This is what I said. You're looking buffed, man. The guy was taking care of his body. I gave him an honest compliment. Guess what happened? He's lighted up. Think about that. The Paquito Kareem, what would he have done? You would have given him a bad look and that energy, negative energy. But I gave him a positive energy and he looked at me and he says, he wasn't expecting that of me. See, every human being, even a murderer, somebody who's killed somebody, or somebody who's like a real bad person, has goodness in them. Your job as a human being to put on this earth is to look for those goodness in everybody's life. Those moments that you put goodness in people's lives, guess what happens to you? Forget you. You know what you're doing? You are changing their life. You're leading by example. See, God, Creator, has put you on this earth for a reason. And what is that reason, my friend? To do His job. Help Him make this world a better place. Think about that. You are His ambassador. Now think of it this way. Like attracts like. What does that mean? What does that mean? Anything that you want in this life, doesn't matter what it is, you must become it. Like energy attracts like energy. Think of that. What does that mean? See, if I am doing God's work, then how? Or Creator's work, if you believe in God, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. You were created, so let's use the word creator. If you're doing Creator's work, how is it possible that goodness of all the goodness in this world not to come to you and attract to you? How? Tell me. Because like attracts like. So what does that mean? How do you become like attracts like? Think of that. If you want abundance to come into your life, how do you get that? Write down, describe what you want. Describe what you do not want. Describe what you have to be what you want. Then become that you want. Then the reticular activation system in your mind starts searching for it. Guess what? anything that you want in life starts coming to you because you are saturated with that. Perfect example, what happened this morning. Rudeness. Turn it around. And like feeling of goodness comes to you. You prosper that way. You become an awesome human being. Let people do what they want. Pandemic, who cares? You have your own world in here. This is your world. Your world is what you see and what's in here, not what's happening out there in somebody else's life. That is none of your business. And what they think about you is none of their business. Case closed. Your world is here, my friend. We learn this. Our life, as we know it, will change. See, I'm at an awe. How a negative situation could have turned into such a bad day, bad situation. But guess what? There's a smile. I don't even feel it. I don't even care. I have this famous saying, I don't care. It's not my problem. Have trigger points like that in your life so that you use words like that. You know why? See, this is another thing I've learned. God has His own job. He's put us on this earth. His job is to take care of others. My job is to take care of me. If I was going to take care of the other, then God would have said, hey, Kareem, he's taking care of the job. I don't have to worry about it. Then guess what happens? Think of this. Guess what happens? God says, okay, one less problem for me. Kareem's going to take care of it. Now think. Please concentrate on this because this is very important. He says, Kareem's going to take care of it. And guess what? My day is bad. His day is bad. But we're put on this earth to learn. Learn. How do we learn? From these challenges that happen in our life. Think of this. Challenges happen in our life. That's how we learn. So if that's how we learn, I took it upon me to take care of that problem, which is not my problem. Right? So guess what? That person didn't learn by my example, and I didn't learn. So guess what? It's a negative situation for both. So we're put in this earth to learn, right? He didn't learn, and I didn't learn. And guess what? The cycle continues. We will not graduate in this class until we learn that lesson. Think about that. Lose-lose. Lose-lose situation. That's what would have happened. But today what happened was a win-win. I learned. He learned. Even though you think maybe he does or does not, that's not my problem. Not my business. But guess what? I guarantee you that he learned. You know why? Because as soon as I said that and I didn't say anything, guess what? He just kind of, like he was mesmerized. Whether he practices or not, That's not my business. That's his problem. But guess what? Something in him, the goodness, will say, this guy handled it like a champ. Guess what? More of that comes to me. Now I have to be ready for the next challenge that comes in my life. And that's how we grow. Then you might say, when does it ever end? You know when it ends? When I become with the One, the Creator, when I die. That's when it ends. Until then, life is a big classroom. And we must learn to handle these challenges every single day. And that's how you handle rude and obnoxious people. You know why? Because there are no rude and obnoxious people in this world. You know why? Because it's in here. If you see it in them, you are one. Think of that. If you see it in them, then you are one. Catch my drift? Jelly bean? Till next time, my friends. Till next time. If you think I gave you value, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel so we can make this world a freaking awesome place. This world. Live consciously, with purpose, in the moment, and with freaking passion. So much passion that it is freaking oozing out of you.